you will ask, what about the media? And that's where we have probably the biggest problem. Hundreds and thousands of volunteers have written time and again to media. And our biggest problem in this country today is that we have a very corrupt mainstream media that is mostly very liberal, that foolishly believes that if they put Obama in the White House, they will have more liberties. No, they will have much less. And this media, this liberal mainstream media, is in the hands of only a handful of corporations that happen to be doing business with foreign governments such as Saudi Arabia. And knowing that Obama is so vulnerable, knowing that he has so many skeletons in his closets, people that are running those handful of corporations made a decision that he is a convenient puppet, that he is somebody that can be easily manipulated, and they wanted to put him in the White House. And that's why our mainstream media absolutely refused to provide you, my fellow Americans, with the truth about the fact that Obama is not eligible to be the president of this country. You can tell by my Russian accent that I was not born in this country. And I have to tell you, I lived in a communist country. I've seen a country without freedom of speech and without free press. It's like living in a big concentration camp. And when I saw how horrific our media has been during this election, I saw they were worse, absolutely worse than what I've seen in the communist Soviet Union. And believe me, if God forbid Obama gets in the White House, it's going to be even worse. And it's interesting, there's an irony. What citizenship did he have? At birth, he had British citizenship. It's like God is telling you, please, wake up. Who did you fight in the War of Independence? Who did you fight during Boston Tea Party? You fought the British. Here's your hint, people. Obama was British citizen at birth. He is not eligible. So what can you do today? Well, first of all, Barack Obama needs to step down immediately. And he needs to announce to his supporters that even though he got more votes than others, and I question how he got those votes regardless, he cannot become the president of this country due to constitutional limitations. However, if he does not do this immediately, we have to act. We have to act immediately. And first and foremost, we need to write to all 9 justices of the Supreme Court, Justice Anthony Kennedy, that is currently reviewing the petition, and the other 8 justices. And we need to demand that the justices act based on the Constitution. And if they decide based on the Constitution, there is no way, shape, or form for Obama to ever become the president of this country. The justices cannot act based on the fact that corrupt media is telling them people have voted and will have riots. Sorry, people voted based on fraud that this corrupt media produced for them. People have voted because truth was hidden from them. In terms of riots, I'm sorry, the justices need to remember that this country was not built on the rule of a mob. This country was built based on Constitution. If there are a couple of Obama thugs that are thinking of rioting, we have means of stopping it, not within days, but within hours. We have police, we have sheriff's departments, we have Homeland Security, FBI, and Army. If we are serious about law and order, we would not have any riots. And if a few thugs think of rioting, this will be stopped within hours, and that's it. And therefore, I certainly hope that the justices will decide based on the Constitution, not based on harassment or intimidation. You can go on my blog, which is drorly.blogspot.com. There is more information there. You need to write to our law enforcement. You have to write to the General Director of FBI, you have to write to Mike McCoskey, who is Attorney General of the United States, and you have to write to Patrick Fitzgerald, who is a U.S. Attorney for Northern District of Illinois, and you have to demand immediate indictment of Barack Obama based on the fact that he ran on fraudulent information. He collected $650 million based on false pretenses. Barack Obama has committed fraud when he applied for his bar registration with Illinois Bar. The first question was, what is your name, and any other names used? He put down none, even though it's well documented that he went by the name of Barry Soetoro. Here's the divorce agreement of his mother, and registration in Indonesia showed him as Barry Soetoro. He took an oath based on fraudulent information. He committed perjury. He needs to be indicted based on that. They have to investigate immediately his selective service certification. They have to subpoena his original birth certificate and information in terms of death certificates, coroner's reports, and hospital records of his mother and grandmother. We have to act now. If this is not done, we will have a usurper in the White House, somebody who is not legitimate, and therefore no law will be valid, no international treaty will be valid, and then we as people will have to take action to remove the usurper from the White House. Impeachment will not be a proper proceeding. Impeachment is good only for situations where somebody is legitimate ab initio and then is impeachable. Obama was illegitimate from day one, and therefore in this situation we will have our rights, and we will have to use all means necessary to remove him from the White House, be it use of law enforcement or military or civilian militia. You need to keep in mind, we need our freedoms, and right after the First Amendment that we have in our Constitution that grants us the freedom of speech and freedom of press and freedom of religion, we have our Second Amendment, which is our freedom to bear arms, to defend ourselves and defend our freedoms from usurpers. Thank you.